blasting his opponent's base to bits, so it's going to be a bit of a base trade here. He's lost his main, but he's really rebuilt a lot in the center of the map in terms of our, we're talking about our GDI player here. Again, losing another harvester, well, about to lose a harvester to that stealth tank as long as it survives. And man, those tanks absolutely obliterating the enemy here. He's even got that harvester trapped there. Now, Nod harvesters are actually invisible, whereas GDI harvesters have a gun on them, so a bit of a trade-off there. You could also see some flame units there. Those units armed with flamethrowers trying to have a crack at those tanks. They won't do too much damage to the tanks, and they'll probably get run over before long. But GDI player knows that he needs to do some serious damage here, so just pressing on. He's got about 8 tanks now, 8 or 9 tanks, maybe even 10 tanks, can't really count them. A bit obscure at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 tanks at the moment. And he should be able to blow these buildings away really easily. If he doesn't lose too many of them to those suicide bombers, that is. I gotta say, both players seem to be playing quite well. This replay was highly rated, so I have to assume they're decent players. Again, you know, I'm not going to be covering any more Command & Conquer past this replay, unless maybe I get my hands on a copy of Kane's Wrath and have a crack at it. Otherwise, yeah, basically take from it what you will. We've got Nod vehicles moving to the remains of the GDI base now. But both players in trouble with each other. A lot of buildings being blasted here. A GDI player running out of tanks. He's got about 5 left. That effect you can see over there is like an EMP attack. He's basically somebody's using an effect there which actually shuts down all vehicles and buildings in a certain radius for a period of time. So that's quite cool. And in the meantime, Fresh Bulldog's moving in to get some shots off. Managing to defend his space for the time being, and that's really all he's got left. He's got the Tiberium to harvest the middle. Guys, bear in mind that Tiberium, unlike resources in other games, actually replenishes itself. So if you leave the Tiberium for long enough, it'll actually grow back. So you can come back and harvest it again in a particularly long game. That's likely to happen. We've still got 4 tanks on the ground out in the Nod base for the GDI, blowing away everything. Things are getting really tight now because how much more resources does the GDI player have left to actually put into replacing that tank army? But on the other hand, the Nod player doesn't really have any buildings left to get any troops of his own, so it's going to be tight. We've got some more Predator tanks back at home. Looks like he's just gathering up another army of them. Oh, and the separate attack going here at the north. This was the secondary base for the Nod player, but it looks like it's in serious danger now. As soon as that Scorpion tank is constructed, the Predator's able to easily wipe it out and go for that barracks as well. So it looks like a double-pronged attack. He's doing very well. I like the way the GDI player is playing. He's been very patient, and he's gone for the priority, really. He's just gone for buildings. He's really just weakened his opponent's economy, and he's relying on his defense to carry him. As you can see here, another unit production facility has been taken out, a barracks or whatever you call it. Hand of Nod. I think that's what the building's called, Hand of Nod. Guys, this game will obviously show you a lot in terms of the infantry and vehicles of this game, but it's actually possible to get air units, a lot of sort of flying stuff, as well as some super weapons like ion cannon, nuclear weapons and stuff. There's also a third race called the Skrin, S-C-R-I-N, who are an alien race. That's how they fit into the whole scheme of things, and I haven't really played around with them too much. If you're interested, check out Command & Conquer 3 and give them a go. Apparently in this particular incarnation of the game, Tiberium Wars, they're a bit overpowered. I'm not too sure what the deal is with the actual up-to-date expansion, Kane's Wrath, but I'll report on that if I manage to get a copy of the expansion and decide to play it. In the meantime, I've been more distracted with other games, so you probably won't see that in the near future. But more Predator tanks moving out for the GDI player. It's going to be a bit of a fight now, and a serious fight breaking out here. He's got more than enough firepower. That EMP going off, though, really very powerful move there. Very good play there, taking out the tanks, and this is going to give him a great opportunity to really reduce them to rubble, essentially. But you've got to bear in mind that the Nod player doesn't really have many buildings left at home. The Nod player has got a small sort of encampment in the middle, which he's protected quite well. Will it survive? We've now got a stealth tank, and at this point I want to explain to you guys that there is a mechanic in this game known as veterancy, and that's where if you have a unit which survives and gets a lot of kills, it will actually level up. It will actually become more powerful, it will become more armoured, it will do more damage, it will, I think, move faster, I'm not too sure. Depends on the type of unit getting the veterancy. And that stealth tank in the background with a little red asterisk, little star next to its health bar, has been seriously leveled up, so it's really got a high veterancy status. And that's why it's so difficult to kill, that's why its health is regenerating so quickly when it's attacked. And that's why it's doing so much damage to the GDI tanks. And I'm in two minds about that system. It's kind of cool, it's kind of novel. Other games don't really have it. I mean, you've got Warcraft 3 with leveling up heroes, but on the other hand, it's too easy to get a huge advantage. If you just have one lucky unit which survives, and I'm not too sure how much I like that. Have a look at this. That stealth tank just nailing all of those GDI tanks, and we've got one last building here for the GDI tanks to try and take out. So the Nod player's desperately repairing it. So this should be game right here. The GDI player should be able to kill the last building and wipe out and finish the game. But that stealth tank destroying everything now, and although that was it, the GDI player seemed like he played better overall strategically, managing to wipe out all of the Nod player's buildings except that last one onto nearly half health. And he's got so many more vehicles back at home. We've now got free reign with this one stealth tank, able to just destroy everything. Look at it. As soon as those tanks try to hit it, it actually regenerates its health straight away. And even though the GDI player seems to have more economy, more buildings, has timed his attacks better, there are no buildings left for that Nod player except for that one thing, and he can't actually rebuild any troops left except for that stealth tank, which he doesn't need to rebuild. Look at that. I mean, look how much damage he's doing to that tank with one volley. Absolutely insane. Now he's regenerated his power plant. I mean, that's a non-construction building. That power plant just gives him power. It's like a farm. And back here, we've got a big base. He's got the capacity to rebuild now. He's got some garrison buildings. He's got a spike there, and no tanks are able to make it anywhere near close to that remaining building, because that stealth tank just does too much damage. So I have a feeling that, you know, with a high veterancy unit like that, there's nothing you can do, and it's a bit silly that a stealth tank like that is able to achieve that that level of effect, because it's invisible and it's quite fast. So there's actually no way that your opponent can actually kill it, unless you've got high tech and some really sort of specialist vehicles to do it with. But unfortunately, the GDI player doesn't have the tech for that. He seems like he's played better, but unfortunately that veterancy has made a big difference. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this battle report, this commentary. A good look at a game that I don't really play. Some of you guys may play it. I'm not really that interested in sort of following up on it, but the graphics are cool. It does work out quite well. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have played it. The single player was kind of fun, and if I get my hands on Kane's Wrath, I might show it to you. But as you can see, quite an interesting game. This is quite a very unique game. You don't see this happen very much. But the Nod player has defeated the GDI player due to a bit of a lucky stealth tank there and some decent play. If you're interested in this game, go check it out, get some replays for it, and you know, see how you go. But in the meantime, I'll be doing more fantasy, Warhammer Fantasy Tabletop. We'll be doing a bit of StarCraft occasionally, and I'll even show you a bit of Dragon Age. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys later.